Why does silence make your ex come back? If you've heard me talking about no contact before, don't worry. I'm not going to be repeating anything I've already said about being silent if you're trying to get your ex back. This is all new information with a twist on the perspective, so stay tuned. Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. And welcome back, my beautiful silent no contact army. Have you been a good little soldier or a bad little soldier? And thank you to everyone who has downloaded my app Silencio to help you stay in no contact. And if you haven't, just click on the link below the video and podcast and you too can have the app. And if you would like to join our no contact army, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell notification and you're in. And to read our manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com where you can read 2 free chapters before you purchase the book. So I've mentioned before that getting an ex back is similar to a war. And in fact, I did a video on that. And of course, I can't remember the title because I've done so many videos. But if anyone does remember, if you could please comment below, I would really appreciate it. And then I will put the link in the upper right-hand corner on YouTube. But basically, you want opposite things. Your ex doesn't want you in their life anymore as a romantic interest, maybe just as a friend, and you want to be a romantic interest. What could be more opposite than that? And that's the definition of a war. One side wants one thing, and the other side wants the opposite. So I want to talk about no contact, but with some of the tactics that Robert Greene talks about in his book, The 33 Strategies of War. So people tend to do too much in all areas of life. Instead of listening, they talk too much. Instead of being still and meditating, they're running around trying to make things happen. So it's not surprising that when someone is dumped and they want their ex back, they immediately feel the need to take action to get them back. And in the ensuing chaos of being broken up, taking action is what causes people to make mistakes. They don't have the presence of mind to retreat. I see people commenting saying, oh, I wish I'd known this 6 months ago. Where were you a year ago? Well, I was here. But guess what? If you don't have the presence of mind to pull back and stay back at the moment you're dumped, and afterwards, you can know all my strategies inside and out, and you will still do the wrong thing. When you can't think straight, you're not able to apply the strategies. So pulling away gives you time to think and allows you to see things from a different perspective. The way you feel about your ex and being dumped on day 1 of no contact is going to be very different from how you feel about them on day 30 or day 60. So to quote Robert Greene, amidst the turmoil of events, do not lose your presence of mind. In the heat of battle, the mind tends to lose its balance. Too many things confront you at the same time. There's a danger of responding emotionally with fear, depression, or frustration. You must actively resist the emotional pull of the moment. Learn to detach yourself from the chaos of the battlefield. Let others lose their heads. Your state of mind will steer you clear of their influence and keep you on course. In other words, rather than freaking out and chasing your ex, you're going to retreat, i.e., no contact, and let your ex lose their head, which they will. More importantly, when you go silent, their respect for you will go up, especially if you have an anxious attachment style, because they know that you get anxious easily and they will fully be expecting you to contact them and not let them go that easily. However, as the days turn into weeks and they have not heard a peep from you, they have more respect for you. And remember what I always say, you cannot have love without respect. So continuing with some more wise words from Robert Greene, use absence to increase honor and respect. Too much circulation makes the price go down. The more you are seen and heard from, the more common you appear. So if you chase after your ex after they've dumped you, you're going to look common. You're going to look basic because that's what most people do after a breakup. Unless, of course, you're listening to me. Haha. Continuing with Mr. Greene, you must learn when to leave. Create value through scarcity. Exactly. You're trying to create value through your actions when instead you should be creating value through your absence. So while their respect for you is going up, you gain perspective. Robert Greene has said that your desires narrow the scope of your vision. And what that means is love is blind. You have this person up on a pedestal and you see them as special and different from everyone else. However, by staying away from them, your vision starts to open up and you start to see them for who they are rather than for who you want them to be or for who you thought they were. Robert Greene continues, trade space for time. By resisting the temptation to respond to an aggressor, and breaking up with someone is an aggression, you buy yourself valuable time to recover, to think, to gain perspective. And this is the total opposite of what people want to do when they've been broken up with. Your instincts are going to tell you to engage, and as usual, I'm telling you to do the opposite of what the instincts are telling you, because those instincts are coming from a place of fear and survival. And by the way, if you're finding this video helpful, please give it a like in order to help the YouTube algorithm to suggest it to more people so more people can learn about why silence will make their ex come back. Thank you. Continuing with Mr. Greene. Time is more important than space. By refusing to fight, you infuriate them and feed their arrogance. They will soon overextend themselves and make mistakes. Time will reveal them as rash and you as wise. Sometimes you can accomplish most by doing nothing. So as you can see, Robert Greene believes in the power of no contact, even though he's not specifically speaking about no contact in this phrase. And when he said feed their arrogance, I'm going to guess that he actually, if I can speak for Robert Greene, that he actually meant trigger their arrogance, which some of you have seen when you have ignored your ex's breadcrumbs and they get an attitude and they'll say something like, "Oh, you're not talking to me now? No, I'm not." You've triggered their arrogance. And what people don't realize is that most people are bluffing. Their arrogance and confidence is actually a front. They're not as confident as they appear to be. Except for me, of course. Ha. So by going into no contact and ignoring the breadcrumbs, you are unknowingly pulling off their mask and their true self comes out. Many times they got that confidence because you were so into them that they figured they could treat you any way they wanted and you would always be there. And when they start to realize that's not necessarily the case, that's when they start to reveal just how much confidence or lack of it they really have. They got the validation from you in the relationship because they knew that you would never break up with them, that you would never leave them, that you would never ignore them. But now that validation is no longer there and you actually are ignoring them, the truth about their confidence or lack thereof comes out. But you have to stay silent in order for this to occur. The person who you thought was so confident is going to start begging for your attention and getting angry that you're not responding, and that is a form of begging. Sometimes you've unknowingly given them that confidence because of all the attention that you gave them. You've now removed that source of attention, and the house of cards is starting to fall. Back to Robert Greene. Make other people come to you. When you force the other person to act, you are the one in control. It is always better to make your opponent come to you, abandoning their own plans. You hold the cards. That's right. There's many advantages to waiting and making them come to you rather than reaching out. Humans are naturally impatient. You're making the first move out of impatience because they're doing something to trigger your impatience. And often when you think that they're moving on or they're never going to call you, that's when you want to break no contact and reach out. So you have to resist that urge, and it's going to get easier as time goes by and you're gaining a clearer perspective of the situation and you've taken them down off the pedestal. They're not as great as you think they are, because if they were, then everyone in the world would want to be with them, and that's just not true. Okay, and again, Robert Greene says, your idea of power is wrong. You've mistaken aggressive action for effective action. And most often, the most effective action is to stay back, keep calm, and let others be frustrated by the traps you set for them, playing for long-term power rather than for quick victory. And this is why I don't want you to respond to breadcrumbs. You may see that as a quick victory because your ex reached out, you responded, had an interaction, and you think, ooh, now we're getting back together. But it's going to kill your strategy for getting your ex back in the long run. When it comes to getting your ex back, you have to be prepared to play the long game. As I've said before, no contact is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So, to sum up why silence makes your ex come back, their respect for you goes up, and respect is the foundation of any strong relationship. You gain perspective and will stop being reactive and acting out of emotion rather than thinking clearly, and you will make them the aggressor, which turns around the power dynamic. They hold the power when they break up with you, but now you're taking it back, baby. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these strategies from Robert Greene was your favorite one? Please comment below. And in the meantime, if you would like my help to get your ex back, contact me at theartoflove.net and we will send you the rates. The direct link is below every single video and podcast. They're not on the website. And if you don't hear back within 24 hours, make sure you check your spam folder and then contact us again, either from the same email or if you can from a different email. And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to this as a podcast, please rate and review. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.